Good morning, students. So, back to nursing education classes. Today we are going to see about. Assessment tool. So, last class we have seen about how to do the evaluation or assessment, and what are the components coming under that. What are the basic principles of evaluation and all. So, we are going to see core of this topic, that is which are the tools that is being used for the process of evaluation or for the assessment. So we'll move to that. So what are the qualities of a good assessment tool? So we have to select one tool to do the evaluation, and how the tool must be. So it must be congruent with educational objective. So always there will be an objective. According to the objective focused must be the tool what we have used for the assessment. Objectivity of the assessment technique or methods. So always it has to be objective. It should not be a subjective process. Always the assessment technique or tool must be in objective in nature. Practicability of measuring techniques or methods. So always it has to be feasible and practical to use. If, as I told in the last class, we have seen different characteristics of evaluation tool. In evaluation we have seen, in that one point was feasibility or practicability of evaluation. So similarly, the tool must be practicable or feasible to be used by the teachers. Then only it can be in an easy manner it can be used by the teachers, and they will start using this type of method. Evaluation tools constructed on wide curricular content. So always while preparing the tools, it must be based on the syllabus or based upon the curriculum what is being planned. Clear and comprehensive. So always the tool, it must be simple, concise, clear and comprehensive. All the aspect must be covered in evaluation. So sometimes some students will be very subjective, sometimes they will be very objective in handling the things. So each student will be different from one person to another. So once it is being evaluated, it must cover all the potentials of the students. So for that we have to make evaluation to be a comprehensive one. Relevance. So based upon the topic that is being taught, and it must be relevant to that, the evaluation tool has to be prepared and presented. Adequate and appropriate. Understandability. So once it is being evaluated, the evaluator or the teacher who is using this, it must be simple or is easy to understand. It should not be in a complicated manner. Power of discrimination. So always there should be a specification on each aspect, and so that the scoring and measurability will be easy. Validity and reliability of the assessment tool, as I told in the last class. So these two aspects are very important in the evaluation process. So validity and reliability also must be foreseen. So these are the different qualities of a good assessment tool. Coming to the test construction. So test construction is thing that how we are going to make a evaluation tool, or how it has to be constructed. So test construction has following steps, that is Granold summarized the preliminary steps in construction of test. So test construction is important. Usually it is being asked for Viva. So keep focused while reading this subject. So how the test construction has to be done. The objective and specific learning outcome must be identified and defined in terms of desired change in a pupil behavior. So based upon the specific learning outcome and objectives, so both these aspects must be keep in mind. Accordingly, we have to prepare the test construction. So we have to make the evaluation tool or the test construction. So and also we have to foresee for the pupil's behavior based upon the test construction. So keeping in mind a desired change in the pupil's behavior, keeping in mind these objectives and specific learning outcome, we have to make this test construction. Next step is subject matter content must be outlined. So all the aspect of the subject must be included, and all the aspect has to be comprehensively check on. It has to be outlined, and with that we have to make the construction. A table of specification which relate to the subject matter content should be developed. So as I told, there must be a specification. So once we are preparing a test construction, it has to be specific in all the aspect, especially in a subject matter content. Specific test questions are constructed in accordance with the table of specification. So based upon this table of specification which contains the subject matter, based upon all these aspects we have to make the test questions for the purpose of evaluation. So these are the 4 steps. This is important. Keep it by heart, these 4 steps. Once again I'll say, first one is we have to keep in mind the objectives and learning outcome, and thereby we will get a desired pupil behavior, change in pupil's behavior by the proper evaluation. Subject matter must be outlined priorly, and there must be a table specification which include the subject matter content. Fourth point is, once we are preparing a questions, we have to do it based upon this table specification. Okay, so coming to now let us see the different methods of evaluation by the help of different domains. We have already learned Bloom's taxonomy, right? So in that main 3 domains are cognitive domain, psychomotor domain and affective domain. So keeping in mind these domains, we have to make the evaluation too. So first one is cognitive domain. So to assess the cognitive domain, there are 2 ways, that is either by a written method or by oral method. If you are using a written method to check the cognitive domain, you can use essays, short answers, objective items or assignments. If you are doing it for the oral, then you can use questions and higher order questions. Okay, so with that we can assess the cognitive domain. To check the psychomotor domain, you can use practicals, OSCE or OSCE methods. To check the affective domain, you can use rating scale, checklist, questionnaire, diary, logbook, group discussion, etc. So these are the different domains by which the evaluation is being done. So today we are going to see through the cognitive domains we can learn about essay. Okay. Before going to that, in brief about what are the tools and techniques of evaluation. Various tools and techniques are used in evaluating students' performance in clinical as well as in the classroom. So the choice of type of examination depend upon the time available, setting in which the examination is conducted, purpose of evaluation and the feasibility of the evaluation. So all this has to keep in mind while preparing a tool or selecting a tools or the techniques for evaluation. So anyhow, whether the student is in practical session or in the classroom session, evaluation is most important, and the tool or the technique that is used for evaluation is also equally important. So first evaluation tool is essay. This is coming under cognitive domain. So we all know that essay is the oldest type of exam and mostly used especially in India. Still today also we are using this method. Essay type questions permit the pupils to respond by selecting, organizing and presenting the facts he or she considers appropriately. So you all are writing essays for all the exams. So you are very much familiar with this essay type questions, right? So always you must be, you will be writing your essay in your own manner. You will be organizing it properly. You will be presenting and selecting the content, and accordingly you will be writing this essay. So you all are familiar with. So there are different types by which we can do the essays. So freedom of response is allowed to the students, and there are 2 types based upon the freedom, that is extended type and restricted type. In extended response type, example is that describe the role of evaluation in relation to curriculum goals. So we are not specified anything. It is a wide aspect the question is being asked. So just asking about the role of evaluation in curriculum goals. So you can write in detail about the aspect. Next type of questions that is being asked in this are restricted response type. Here they are specifying little more about the aspect, that is advantages and disadvantages of essay and objective type examination. So there is clearly told to write about advantage and disadvantage. So that is called as restricted response type of questions.
Coming to the definition of essay type questions are a test containing questions requiring the students to respond in writing. It emphasizes recall rather than recognition of correct alternatives. So always